Well, I'm going to defer to your expertise. I'll probably have a different perspective on whether or not your jurisdiction should be as expansive as it is. Way back when the earth cooled, when I used to work with Secret Service, I never got the connection between investigating counterfeit $100 bills that were created on an ink printer and protecting the life of the president or the vice president or a judge. I would rather have a state and local law enforcement officer who used to do homicide cases or child sex assault cases. So, you know, I watched ATF in the early 1990s kind of delve more towards Title 21 drug cases, even though there was no D in ATF. They just found themselves matriculating towards drug cases. And I just wonder if it would not be in the service's best interest to let the marshals or the bureau or somebody else handle some of these books of businesses and just focus on what really is incredibly important, which is protecting the life of our commander-in-chief and our judges and other important people. I mean, why is that not enough?
Sir, I appreciate your view. I would say additionally from my earlier statement that our field offices, in addition to the investigations they do regarding counterfeit and cybercrime and whatnot, they also do protective intelligence investigations. So if you're sitting in Kansas City or Texas and there's a threat made to the president, those same field offices agents go out and do the investigation. So they've got those skills and they've got to make judgments on, is this someone who could potentially threaten or harm any of our protectees. So they learn those skills as well. Additionally, when our protectees travel, for example, the president travels to any city within the country, those same field offices who have already, those agents who have already built up rapport with the locals and the county officers, that rapport has already been built through their investigations. And now we're going to rely on them to support us in a protective mission. In a perimeter that we set up, the middle perimeter, the outer perimeter. And so those relationships are very strong. And we use that from a protective standpoint. They actually start the advance work when the president goes to Kansas City. The beginning of that advance work is done by the field agent.
Well, you're the expert, and clearly I'm not. But I mean, it's really tough for me to draw a connection between the investigation of financial crime and the investigation of counterfeiting and protecting the life of X. I mean, there may be categories of crime where that is a more natural, seamless transition. I don't know. You're the boss, and I'm not, never will be. There may be books of business that do prepare your agents. I don't see that one. But I will say this, and I'll share with a colleague outside. For whatever reason, we tend to have the person who's not responsible before us. The person who you could argue was responsible is no longer in that position, so I'm not going to spend my energy speeding up on you. I do not understand not searching the White House when there is any evidence, even a scintilla of evidence of a shooting. I cannot understand not doing that. But it's not fair to you for me to ask you about that. It's not yours. So let the record reflect that I was fair, at least on one occasion. And with that, I would recognize the gentlelady from Texas.